Like to countdown? It's like
Oh. I'm surprised.
You're so funny.
And Bashan,
Yes,
can you
Judge.
look on Barry Earth to see if there have been any issues since we were last here?
Yes, Judge.
These are the two cases.
Yes. I think this is the one that this I already had, the earlier case.
So you have all of the discovery
Right,
for this
right,
one.
and yes. The other one, 2024 case, CR 211-76.
Judge, there's no reported
That's the one
issues.
that something pronto, because I think we said
Just waiting for the
the next few weeks.
Okay, Judge.
If I understand you correctly, the problem that you have not.
I actually said in.
So on that one, we were just waiting for the state to contact the complainant.
Okay, Judge, do you
That's
have
in
the termination paperwork or do I need to print it?
I don't have the probation paperwork, but I do have the request from the defense attorney in their motion. But if there's something I need to sign with probation.
So I don't know if it's
I'll
because of
print
the
it.
size of the
Thank you.
files or something
All
else.
right,
because I
very-
normally get it that way, right? And, but there's been like a few cases that perhaps because of the size of the files, I have to give you guys
Hi, good morning.
a flash drive or something.
So here's the thing. I understand that sometimes with the nature of the case that the state will not
You let me
agree
know
to
who-
early termination. But
But since
at
stuff, so
the
I can,
end
you
of
know,
the
if
day,
that is needed, I can. drop
the
it off.
reason why I have defendants come in when they want early termination is because
Oh,
I'm
when I
trying to
can get it
figure
this
out
afternoon, that's how interested I
if
am.
you just check boxes on the
Or I
courses
can
that
go
I've
buy
given you,
one.
or if you really
But size,
internalize.
but-
And what I can tell you is you are the first person who's come before me with this type of case and said
Okay,
that
but who should I contact?
you didn't realize that the certain tone you use in your voice, that you shouldn't use that. So
Okay,
you successfully completed everything. Probation at the last hearing said you had successfully completed everything. But because of the nature of your case, I wanted the complainant to know that the court was going to grant early termination. So I told you then that whether or not the early termination is signed off today was completely in your hands. If you followed everything and didn't violate any conditions and continued on probation, then I would sign it. So probation has told me that none of that happened, that you've done great. The state has informed me that the complainant has been contacted, so I'm going to grant your motion for early termination. You're welcome. And counsel, I'll sign your, well, I'll sign probation. They have a form for me to sign for early termination, so that will be signed.
Judge, we had requested
Can get it to me.
both early termination and a dismissal.
yeah, I'll
discharge.
try. I don't have much this morning.
Statute. Uh,
I'm not going to do the dismissal.
All right, thank you. I'll do that.
And I will tell you that not allowing you the dismissal is based upon all the evidence that I've heard. That's the reason why. Okay. It's, you know, in some cases I have allowed it, but I'm not going to allow it in this case, but I will do the early
If you want to work on that,
termination.
I'll stay here for a
Okay.
minute.
You will.
My only point is that he has been on this for a long time, like we think roughly 7 years under court supervision, and he's done everything, and this would be slightly better way, we think, once he applies for the post office, if we have, and the statute does allow for it.
He hasn't been on, it
Not on
hasn't been 7
probation.
years. Yes, yes.
But under court supervision, that is pretrial services from the time of his arrest, through trial, through appeal, coming to court every time.
So I'm not inclined to grant that. If you want to confer with the state and see if they would be in agreement to that, I'll consider it. But at this point, I'm not inclined to grant that.
Well, we appreciate the court's consideration, Your Honor, and I will, Mr. Harris still around?
I think he's stepped in the hallway, but what I'll do is I'm going to sign the early termination that probation is going to provide. And if you want a copy of that, they'll give you a copy of that. Just remain in the courtroom.
Okay,
All right.
thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
yeah.
much.
Judge, if you just give me a moment, I'll get
Sure.
it ready. I'm having issues with my computer.
Oh, no problem. Sorry, let me just put this in the system. All right, and Deputy Laura, it appears that Daniel De La Garza is here first. Is your client in
Oh.
custody or on bond?
No, he made bond.
All right, so where is he?
Told me he was inside the courtroom.
Just
Okay.
take this. I saw somebody, yeah, I think Charles just taking.
Okay,
So if Mr. Bunk's talking, I'll go talk to them about clearing on.
sure, yes, thank you.
You're gonna work.
Your guys.
So.
Yes, request him. If it's on the docket, they need to be here.
Judge, can you get IT to come down here for a second?
Sure,
I just cannot, I don't know what's going on.
okay.
Everything.
I heard that.
Yeah. Could you call IT to have them come down, please? Thank you. And let them know it's for the court reporter.
Yeah, I may speak to the court
Yes,
on the case.
yes.
Mr. Harris has agreed to look into the matter. Can we take what we have today and go with that and then come back to the court
Sure.
for reconsideration, possibly if they decide they have no opposition to this, or if they want some input to it?
Sure, and I'll, as I said, I'll keep an open mind.
Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we can't go. So weird.
It's more just like.
No, don't leave it. Don't put it in. He's back. So I'll leave it up here. Okay. So, yeah, no problem.
It'll just keep on.
My mic's not working.
Thank you, Bashan.
Can't believe you did that to me.
All right, and Yaya, you can give me all of the files that we have on the docket today.
Picture large, sir.
Yes.
Now that I'm caught up on Mr. Stevens matter, and since Mr. Brunk's not here for us to start, I'm gonna go and try to find the right person to get the answer that Mr. Stevens is looking for.
It should probably be the person who tried the case.
100%, but I'm gonna guess over some years, he might be in that
Okay.
division. And now I understand the issue.
Figured out part of it, little ways. I didn't have something plugged in.
It's a different way.
There's a lot of cords.
Oh, that is super cute. I brought you one though. I left it on the table. It was neat, girl. She's like.
Daniel, hi, do you want to call your client in?
Together.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Right, yes, okay, thank you.
Yes, right.
Judge, I guess with them, it's just really just discussing.
Yeah, that's it.
And I know that I think Bonk has a motion for GPS.
Okay,
Door's broken. Oh my goodness. This one.
thank you. Hello. Come forward.
Like Joe. From Pennsylvania.
All right, hello. You're in the center and your attorney's on this side. So you're Eric Cepeda?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right, so defense, I have this motion to reduce bond, of course, that's
It's just waive fees. The reduced bond was, I forgot to cross it off on the original copy. It's just waive fees.
all right. So it's the waive fees of the GPS?
Yes, Judge, that's all we're asking.
All right, so with regards to waiving the fees of the GPS, because he's not in custody, I'll need to take some testimony.
Okay.
And Mr. Cepeda, that testimony will solely be related to your ability to pay the GPS fees. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Cindy, let us know when you're ready.
Okay, I should be okay for now. I mean,
Okay.
Can I have 1 minute, Judge? Just-
Sure.
Let me talk to him 1 second.
All right, sure. You're welcome. Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
All right.
I mean, I'll send her to the court. I signed, I crossed up the reduced fund everywhere except the title, so I don't know. I just.
And
Okay.
that bid that we filed and the motion and all
Oh.
that stuff.
Oh, let me just tell you, I don't even have any of that. This is the
Okay,
only
okay.
thing that I have.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay,
all that, we don't.
So
need to
we'll
be
go
able
with
to do
this.
any of that, except for the motion to reduce.
okay.
You want to do it?
All right, so just. Is it working now, Cindy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ah, okay, it's working. Do you
Well,
still need
there's-
IT or no?
Yes, there's a couple of them that aren't working, but one's working for now for you to do this.
All right, this should take 5 minutes. Or maybe 8. All right, the court is calling 2025 PF 07201 State versus Eric Ray Cepeda. Can I have parties announced for the record? State?
I'm sorry, Judge. Jason Garahan for the state.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Del Garza and Charles Bunk for the defendant.
And are you Mr. Cepeda?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so defense, you did have a motion to reduce bond. That's moot because your client has made bond.
Yes, Your Honor.
So now you're before the court and you're asking that GPS fees be waived. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any witnesses with regards to the waiver of the GPS fees?
Yes, Your Honor. For the limited purpose of this hearing, we would call Mr. Eric Cepeda.
All right, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Say it right now.
You may lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Eric Cepeda.
All right, so this hearing is solely to determine whether or not you're able to pay your GPS fees. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, defense, you may ask your questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, sir. And you're the defendant in this case, right? Okay, and just let me ask you, you are on bond in this case, right?
Yes.
And are you wearing a ankle monitor?
Yes.
It's a GPS monitor, right?
Yes, sir.
And there are fees associated with that monthly, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And are they $300 a month?
Yes, sir.
And are you working right now?
No, sir.
Were you working at the time
No, sir.
that you were arrested?
No, sir.
And do you own any stocks or bonds?
No, sir.
Do you own any real estate?
No, sir.
Do you own a car?
No, sir.
Do you own anything of value that can be sold?
No, sir.
Do you live with your parents right now?
Yes, sir.
Are you on full house arrest?
Yes, sir.
And do you solely rely on your parents for shelter
Yes, sir.
and food
Yes, sir.
and monthly expenses?
Yes, sir.
I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions?
No questions from the state, Your Honor.
All right, I just have a few questions. When were you released from custody? Defense, do you know when he was released? Just approximately.
About a week, Judge.
And how old are you?
17, ma'am.
All right. All right, and you're on full house arrest.
Yes, ma'am.
And since you released, have you tried to seek employment over the internet or anything of that nature?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And have you previously been employed?
No, ma'am.
All right. Then if there is no other testimony, the court is going to grant the motion to waive GPS fees. All right, any other motions?
That's all we have on this issue.
All right, so of course, this case has not been indicted, and the reason why I said it is because of the nature of the case, I wanted to make sure, and I know with the attorneys that are on each of the defendants' cases, there will be communication, but I wanted to make sure if there's any issues with downloading anything such as videos, or if there's going to be a cell phone dump, we can go off the record that communication is constantly open. So defense, if there's any type of issue with something you can't download, please, I know you all wouldn't, but please don't wait till the last minute to say, I can't download this.
No, Your Honor. No, we've both known Mr. Garahan a long time. I'm pretty sure we even have his phone number. So if there's any issues like that, I'll text him or call him. And what I typically do on these cases is I just bring them a big old drive from Costco with 4 terabytes or whatever. And I just ask them to throw everything on there. And if there's anything that needs to be supplemented, and I did this as recently as this week.
Okay.
Then I'll bring them another drive or I'll download it from eDiscovery. But
Okay,
I'll make sure that there's no issues.
all right. And Mr. Cepeda, I'm not the one who set the bond in either of these cases. But what I want to tell you is sometimes with the GPS, people will say, my battery is running low or something's wrong with the GPS. You need to stay in contact with your pretrial services officer. And if there's an issue with the GPS, you need to let them know beforehand there's an issue. Because if I receive pretrial services notices that they've lost contact with your GPS because of the nature of your offense, I'm going to sign it. And then we can have a hearing later, of course, about what happened, but don't let it get to that point. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do on this case. I'm going to reset it for May. So if you all can look on a date in late May, that is good for everyone. And again, it's just to see where we are to make sure information is still flowing, which I know it will, but I just don't like cases to be out there and nobody's had real contact. Okay.
Yes, Judge.
So just let me know what date would be good for all parties. And Jason, I know you have capital murders that are already pending in murder cases. So if May is not a good date to bring this back, if June would be better, just let the court know. And guys, since this is a case where it's 3 co-defendants, and that really puts a strains on the deputies because they have to keep them separated. Deputy Laura I'm sure Friday would probably be best, or Wednesday, Friday or Wednesday, as opposed to bringing them on a Thursday or Tuesday where there are a lot of people.
Judge said Wednesday or Friday.
21. May the 21st, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Ferguson, this is going to be called for May 21st. And we'll just set it as a discovery.
Excellent.
All right, is there anything else from either side?
Not from the state, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about anything?
I'm there.
All right, once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused. All right, thank you. Thank you. Oh, you can have a seat. They'll bring a reset form to you.
Judge, thank you for reviewing and signing my proceed orders.
All right, you're welcome.
Have a good one. All right, let me know.
Sorry for dragging you down here, but I had this one plugged in here and it should have been here.
Oh, wrong input. Okay.
I don't know how I don't remember changing it.
It's a Friday. I get it.
We
No problem. Call us if anything else comes up.
Okay.
just wanted to see you.
I'm having a good hair day too. Wow.
Have a good one.
Okay.
So, Daryl,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have your witness
Oh, yes, ma'am.
for Mr. Curtis?
Yes, ma'am.
And then Jason, we're just waiting for the other two
That's what I was
attorneys.
just about to ask. Okay.
And
all right.
once they come, I will recess this hearing briefly because this is going to take a while.
Mhm.
And then we'll take up the other cases.
Okay, Judge.
And
Yeah,
if you're able to call them, once they get here.
I Yes. I'll be about watching that. I'll be zooming in.
Yes, yes. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing better than I deserve, man.
Oh, well, see, don't say that because we all deserve great things, I think. And Daryl,
Everybody.
is there some documents I need to have in my possession to look at?
Yes. Where do I put this?
Just on your tie or your jacket. It's just a little bit higher.
All right.
Okay.
Is that an extra copy? Does the defense have copies of it?
Not yet. They will when they come back out of the witness room, Judge. This is
Alrighty.
what he was passed for our last setting.
No, but is there anything else remaining? Any other documents we must go through other than these?
Not aware of any, Your Honor. When we recessed the last time, these were the last questions Mr. Bunk had
Okay.
regarding the collateral witness. And at that time, I think collective understanding, we were coming back to answer that question with these documents and look at a scheduling.
All right.
Far be it for me to say that I have anticipated every occurrence.
Okay. Yes. No problem.
I'm gonna run upstairs
Okay.
and I'm gonna be up there. I asked Norma about it, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna go up there because Suzanne says she's not gonna be here till 10:30.
Okay.
And as soon as Cornelia shows up, I can be right back down.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, and Jason, on your way out, if you could tell Charles, we're ready on this case, Curtis. All right, thanks.
No. You said call.
All right, thank you. Thank you. And do y'all have the updated docket?
No.
So.
Okay. Okay. Have you found him? Do you know where he is?
Have not particularly looked for him to see what.
Okay.
Hello.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. How are you doing?
All right.
Oh, all right. How's the oatmeal coming along?
I knew you would ask.
Yes. I tell you, I do the oatmeal. And when I was in, I learned how to do it very well on the microwave when I was in a hotel. So,
Okay, so my big deal now is the
did
lemon water and the cucumber
briefly-
water.
oh, I love that.
So what? I think I need.
All right. I'm gonna add the lemon to it. I had just been doing cucumber, but I'm gonna add the lemon to it.
And if you put them together, it's even better.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna do it. All right, so who are you here for?
Judge, I'm here. I was conferring with Andrew on a case that is set on Tuesday morning on Jose Rodriguez Perez.
Mhm.
He's in federal custody in Del Rio.
All right, so if you have them, if you'll go in the back and tell them to pull the file for me, and I'll take it up.
All right.
Thank you. And just let me know when y'all are ready to proceed.
No time to run the restroom, Judge.
Yes.
Things are.
So yes.
Four things I got.
Yes, let me check the note.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez is in federal custody. I do not represent him on that matter. He is in Valverde, the Valverde Detention Center.
Okay.
And an investigator from the Public Defender's Office contacted me and notified me that it's going to be somewhere, he's there on an MTR, what we call an MTR. He will be in custody anywhere from 4 to 10 months, followed by 26 to 32 months of supervised release. So his hearing isn't gonna happen anytime soon. He's set for Tuesday. And I'm conferring state to see if, in the interest of justice, they might consider dismissing this case, but we don't have an answer yet.
All right, so state, you'll have to look into that.
I will, Judge.
And
My
then-
concern bringing it up is if he's not going to be able to be physically present on Tuesday, and we'll reset this case and say.
No, we're gonna reset it, but I don't want us to be back here in 3 months and this state jail felony is still pending. So looking at it and see if y'all are having plans to dismiss it or not.
The judge, I just want to save defense counsel a trip if it's
Mhm.
not necessary.
Okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do, and state you need to have a decision made for the defense. I'm gonna recall this, and you said what date was originally set on?
It's set for Tuesday, the 25th, next Tuesday,
All right, so I'm gonna recall this for May 27th.
27.
Yes.
I'll put it on my calendar.
All right, and the state will have an answer for you by that time.
Okay, May
Yes.
27.
Yes, May 27th.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Andrew.
You're welcome.
But your friend, well, I forgot we're streaming, so I'll tell you, I'll talk about it later. One of
Okay.
your ex-clients is giving me fits, but she loves you,
Oh,
talks about you fondly all the time, and I think you should step off the bench and handle this one.
okay,
Take a week off and go
okay.
over to County Court 12 and handle the matter for me. So October.
Ms. Ferguson, Mr. Cox is here. And Deputy Laura, is his client here? If you could have him brought out. Oh, no, let's not do that. No, there was notice.
Anybody. My secretary, my legal assistant. And
I'm like, where's my drink? I could have sworn I brought it in here.
All right, are you all ready to proceed on Mr. Curtis?
I think so.
All right, court is calling 2019 CR 10230 State versus RC Curtis. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Darrell Harris for the state, Your Honor.
Charles Buck for Mr. Curtis, and let the record reflect Mr. Curtis is present on Zoom. Thanks to the court and Mr. Harris for that courtesy.
And defense, you have no objection that Mr. Curtis is by Zoom?
I do not.
All right, so we're here. Detective Hines is on the stand. Detective Hines, you're still under oath. There are some documents that Detective Hines brought with him. It's 22 pages. Defense, are you in receipt of that document?
Yes.
All right,
Or
and it's,
documents plural.
yes.
But yes, I am.
All right. And my understanding, this is the final documents that need to be reviewed for any more discovery issues. Is that correct?
I hope.
Yes, sir. Echo council's sentiment, but Your Honor, yes, on my notes from our last setting, the open-ended questions regarded the collateral witness Antonio Jones in his July 2016 arrest, specifically whether in his personal property there was an additional cell phone. My understanding of the documents that the detective.
All right, so let me just stop you. So these 22 pages that was given to the court, Mr. Bunk has those.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right,
Judge.
so the witness is under oath. With regards to these 22 pages, are there any questions from the state or the defense with regards to these 22 pages of the witness?
Yes, Your Honor, I could be fairly quick.
Oh, no, ask questions. He's here.
Detective Hines, and were you able to check with the property room as it relates to the July 2016 arrest of Antonio Jones?
Yes,
Did they have any property of his, and specifically, did they have an additional cell phone that you had not seen or inspected?
No, they didn't have any record of what property he had, when he was booked that day.
Right, and to your knowledge, are there any additional cell phones attributed to Antonio Jones that have not been inspected or downloaded?
Not that I know of.
You were also tasked to run the registration of the vehicle occupied or driven by collateral witness Scotty Perez on his related to his 2 municipal court citations. Did you run the registration for those vehicles, and is that contained in the 22 pages you've brought to court today?
Yeah, I ran registration on one vehicle and I did bring that to court today.
And is that the same vehicle as over the 2 citations?
Yes.
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, defense, any questions?
I'll start with the email. This indicates the records of what personal property came in with this. There's no record of what personal property came in with Mr. Jones at the time of his arrest. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
And would you agree with me that, and I think we have, in fact, I know we have from previous meetings or hearings, the offense report that has the case number 16158-115. That's the same offense that's referenced in this email. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the arrest, that's the incident where Antonio was arrested, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so, and do you have that report there with you still from?
No.
Okay. May I approach Judge?
Yes.
I'll just stand, may I stand and we'll just look at it together?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Cox, if you wanted to speak to him, you can.
So Detective.
Just one second,
Okay,
sorry.
no worries.
Deputy, Mejia, can you move him to the back row?
Yes, Judge.
All right.
We're gonna look at just together what I'll mark as, oh boy, defense, I don't even know. Defense. For the purpose of this hearing, I'll mark it as defense 1A.
I think maybe it would be best, because there have been many that have been marked. Are you sure that 1A would be the number? All right, then let's do it this way. Mark it as 1 March 21 for the month of March, and it's the 21st day.
I'm sorry, so is that a good defense?
Yes, defense 1 March 21.
1 March 21.
Yes. And that way there'll
Okay.
be no confusion with the record.
I'm gonna show you what I'm marking as defendants 1 March 21. Okay?
Okay.
And it seems to be an offense report with the offense case number 16158-115.
Mhm.
That's the same report number as in the email. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you and I went over this at the last hearing. I'm not showing you something we haven't talked about before, right?
Okay.
Is that correct?
If you say
Okay,
so.
I'll let you look at it. I'm not trying to trick anybody.
Okay, yeah, this is a offense report written by Officer Andrew Tran.
And take a second and go through it. And is that in fact the offense report that relates to the arrest of Antonio Jones that is referred to in the email we're talking about now?
Yes,
Okay. And in this report, are there items listed that were taken from Antonio at the time of his arrest?
yes,
Okay. For example, there's a handgun.
yeah,
There's a handgun on page 2 of this document, or excuse me, page 3. It talks about property and items. There's possible heroin
mhm,
and a handgun placed in the property room. That's not, so when it's placed in the property room, there's 2 different handguns based on the serial numbers, correct?
yes, sir, it looks
Okay.
that way.
And when it says placed in the property room, that's different than what we're talking about in the email, because the email
Yeah.
refers to personal
Personal
property.
property, yes,
Okay.
sir. Mhm.
And so there's nothing else as far as there's no other personal property listed on this report. Is that correct? I'll just let you look through it. I didn't see anything, but I'll just let you look through it. As far as currency or telephones or
No, sir.
okay. All right. Now, when an individual is actually booked into the jail, there's a process there. He's processed, correct? He's fingerprinted. Is that correct?
I don't know, sir. I don't work at the jail. What, during the booking process, back when I was a patrol officer, we would hand them off at the detention center and turn in whatever we were charging them with to the magistrate and turn in whatever personal property they had is what we're talking about right now. The jailers would take and put it in a separate bag.
All right, and I'm sorry to interrupt, counsel. If we could just take a brief recess and let me handle this case. Mr. Cox, are you ready on your client? All right, if you all will step down and Cindy, this is not going to be on the record because I don't believe they have any motions. Yes, please.
In the middle.
All right. Hello, Mr. Cox.
Ma'am.
All right, so on this case, Mr. Camarel, the reason why I said it is because the nature of the case, I want to make sure that there's communication going back and forth between parties. So, Mr. Cox, if you have any motions that you want heard, just set them with the coordinator and we will hear it. I'm trying to keep these cases on Wednesdays and Fridays because it's hard for the deputies when we have a full docket and then there are certain inmates that need to be separated. So we've decided previously to bring this back on May 21st. Are you available with that date?
Yes, sir.
All right, so we'll bring this one back on May 21st as well. You may need a hard drive. I don't know if there are phone dumps in this case or not, but I'm sure there will be a lot of evidence.
Just to let you know, Judge, yes, there is.
All right.
And
So,
just for the record there, on the, my IT person,
Mhm.
Angel checked, and the only thing they had, the only, have discovery that appears in the, online for us, the portal is the arrest affidavit. That's all.
Mhm.
So I've gotten nothing other than the arrest affidavit, so I don't know how quickly those things are gonna be.
I checked out yesterday and at least I don't remember which one I looked up, but I mean, we do have reports on there. I made copies of that. So if you would like to bring a hard drive, I mean, I could get at least, or I can make a copy of the sort of the packet of the prosecution, the detective handling it. It's out of Selma, Judge, so it's a little different, but I mean, I can supply that to you if you like.
That's fine.
all right. And if there are some issues with discovery, as I was telling the other attorney, I know the attorneys on this case, so I knew you all would communicate. But if there is some issue that discovery is not being delivered from Selma or wherever it may be, that's what we'll be having these hearings for, to make sure everything is going well with discovery. So we're going to be back on May 21st. Mr. Camarel, do you have any questions? All right, so we'll bring you back on May 21st. And Mr. Cox, if there are any motions that you wish to have heard, just let the coordinator know,
Thank you.
and we'll put it on the docket.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
If you'd like to go make a copy of this.
Yes.
Go make a copy of that, yeah.
All right, we are back. So Defense, you may continue.
I had a chance during the recess to confer with Mr. Harris. There's a particular set of items I'm looking for. Mr. Harris is going to provide those for me. So that having been said, I have no further questions of this witness regarding this email or any of the other pages that were provided to me today.
All right, so
But I would like to offer into evidence for the purpose of this hearing, what I've marked just for the record as defense 1 March 21.
all right, so before I accept that, would somebody make a copy? Because I want to go through it as well.
Yes.
All right, thank you. And if you could make, Mr. Harris, do you have yours?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you could make 2 copies.
Copies of this or?
I gave him mine.
Okay, 3 copies, yes.
So it's just the 5 days.
Phyllis Bill, you've been sitting here. Did you need something? Okay. All right.
Just the subset.
Yeah, that's all I have. Yes.
So this is,
I marked it 1 March.
defense 1 March 21.
No, I marked it 1 March 121, I think.
Defense 1.
When I get it back.
Yeah, 1, Defense
March,
1, March 21.
Got it.
It's a document that we questioned this detective on at the last hearing, just for the record. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Place the one that I gave away. then just may I approach the court reporter?
Yes. And so you're offering defense 1 March 21 into evidence for purpose of this hearing?
Yes, Judge, just for the record, because I showed it to the detective.
Yes. And I understand that legally this is hearsay, but for purposes of this hearing, which is for discovery, it will be admitted.
Yes, it was just so the record's clear that this is the document I showed to the detective.
Yes.
Thank you.
So defense 1 March 21 is admitted. All right, so defense, with regards to the document that has just been admitted, is there any discovery issues with regards to this document?
Right to this document, no, Judge.
All right, any other questions or any other discovery related to this witness?
Not with Detective Hines, no, Judge.
Has discovery been completed?
I have asked Mr. Harris, and what I mentioned a second ago, I would like, and Mr. Harris has agreed to provide. I was asking the detective about the booking information from Mr. Jones's arrest pursuant to this incident. And as the detective testified, he's not aware of the process and the information gathered from a defendant. It's my belief from experience that he's fingerprinted, photographed, his height, weight, et cetera, is all gathered and placed in a packet, if you will.
Yes.
I've asked Mr. Harris if he would get that booking packet, and he's informed me that he would. So that's the one thing I would like Mr. Antonio Jones, the information gathered at the time of his booking for this offense on July the 24th of 2016.
All right, so is somebody going to pick up the phone and call booking to see if they can do that?
I will have it done. Ideally, the recess is proceeding, but I give the court my word, I will have it done. It's initiated today and will relay it directly to Mr. Bumper.
All right, so other than that, there's no other outstanding discovery?
That's all that I'm aware of.
All right, so I need a discovery acknowledgement signed today.
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Ferguson, we're going to need a jury trial date. How long do y'all expect this trial to last?
That's state's case in chief. I would longest 5 days. Yeah.
All right, we can go off the record.
One to 2 days at the most.
All right, I know you'll have it done in one. Norma,
I believe that to be true.
thank you. And is your client, if he were found guilty, is he going to the jury or the court for punishment?
I believe we had chosen, I think we chose the jury last time.
Okay.
I would expect it to be the same, although we haven't discussed it recently, but I don't think that's changed.
Okay. And then jury trial, bench trial.
We haven't discussed that.
Well, let me start with this. State, if they wanted a bench trial, will you agree to a bench trial? And what I can tell everybody, if the state proves their case beyond a reasonable doubt, it's gonna be guilty. If they don't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, it's gonna be not guilty.
You know, I'm not trying to delay. A position like this, I would like an opportunity to talk to my family. Can I bring you that answer when I bring the discovery knowledge?
Okay. I mean, discovery acknowledgement is gonna be done today.
Yes, ma'am, I'm gonna reach out to them and I understand exactly what the board's trying to, I just want to give them that courtesy of informing them on that.
All right, and Norma, I need a jury trial date, 5 days.
We have taken the opportunity to look at all the witnesses and availabilities, and we have a date in mind.
And what date in mind is that?
October 13th.
Oh, that's too far out. Because this case has been pending since, I don't know, who knows when, a long time. So let me see. Norma, look for a date in July.
I'm not available in July.
All right, Norma, look for a date in August. And everyone should have their witnesses. So we're going to do jury selection on Mr. Curtis. Mr. Curtis, you'll need to be here on August 18th. And that will be jury selection. And jury selection will begin at 1 p.m. And defense, do you have any more pretrial motions that need to be heard?
I have sealed motions,
Okay.
but not pre-trial motions that need to be heard in this, like this.
Okay, well, whatever seal motions you have, just bring them to me and I'll take care of it. So, state, do you have any motions that need to be heard?
That I can think of as it stands here, Your Honor.
All right, and with regards to motions in limine, as you all know, just approach before you enter into that territory and I'll make a ruling.
In fact, Your Honor, I restate, those I have filed with the court already. I just don't have command of everything that is going to be filed in this thing here right now.
No, that's no problem. If it's only motions in limine, then what we can do is you all can, if they're not gonna be long motions in limine, then I can hear that on August 18th in the morning. All right.
And Your Honor, with the case in chief schedule, do you envision all day testimony or half day? The previous schedule we had,
Oh, I'll let everybody know on Monday. But I will tell you that Wednesday is gonna be all day.
right?
All right, is Mr. Hines excused? Detective Hines, I'm sorry. Is
That's fine.
Detective Hines excused?
State has no further requirement.
All right, thank you so much, Detective Hines. Have a great rest of your day.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
There you go. August 18th.
On vacations. No sleeping in.
That's my son's birthday, my daughter-in-law's birthday.
You don't have to be there all night.
Charles, did you need to speak with your client by Zoom? All right, Mr. Curtis, your attorney said that he'll speak with you by phone, so you are excused. Phyllis, you needed the court?
This, so the new case is set for next Tuesday,
Mhm.
the 25th. I
Okay.
have a conflict that day. And the other case, I'm not on the MTR, but there is no attorney on the MTR. And I don't know if it's set for the same date or what those circumstances are with it.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What is a date for you?
I
That's
could come the following day or Thursday,
So,
which is the 26th or 27th.
all right, we can put it on the 27th.
Okay, that'll be
All
fine.
right.
And so since there's an MTR out on that 2021 case,
Mhm.
um, I was going to ask you to set a bond, but I'm not.
Oh,
that's
they'll
'cause I'm
need to
not
be
the-
here. But what I can do is, if you ask Ms. Ferguson, they'll make sure that you're on both cases.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
And
And we can probably just take care of both of them on the same day,
Yes.
maybe, hopefully. And if not, I can get the bond set.
okay,
Okay, sounds perfect.
all right. If you'll give this to Ms. Ferguson so she can put it on the docket for the 27th.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And Suzanne Kramer?
I could get her, Janet. I think she stepped out to talk to the defendant's parents.
All right, thank you.
Or is it about 7? Because that's what they're asking.
And Norma? So on Phyllis Bill case, she's asking for it to be recalled on, I want to say March 27th. And if you'll just put that in the system.
Oh, no. So I deferred.
And if you can place her on the motion to revoke as well. Hello.
I know you've met Monica. Monica, Gerard. I'm just. Your mother's been emailing me some medical records a couple of weeks ago. So I just need to get him the medical records. How are you doing? What's going on?
All right, Norma, here's that
Well,
one.
I hope you see the news. Your case has
And
been.
here's Mr. Burgess.
Everything.
Yes.
All right, Norma, on this case with Christopher Beltran. My understanding is that he didn't successfully complete the inpatient treatment. That's what I was informed of. And the defense is now saying that he did successfully complete it. I mean, he doesn't need to be here, but if you can have the attorney come and provide documentation from the probation office.
I'll tell them then I'll set for hearing for here.
All right, thank you.
Can I have that?
Sure. You're welcome. Oh, and y'all, this can go in our security file.
So I had to keep.
And Norma, can you let Campbell know his client is here? I'm sorry, Scott Hill. And Bashan, Norma, what's the cause number for that other motion? Yes. Mhm. All right, thank you.
That's it. I mean.
Bashan, can you pull Beltron 2019 CR 9959 and see if he successfully completed inpatient treatment?
I mean, no.
Well, Graham has been pushing to do it now. Oh my God, I mean,
It's, I don't want to say that. I just.
well, it makes no sense. We're not. She got it. No. You see, what are you talking about? Yes. Not even remotely.
So you never. So that's what I'm saying.
Judge, that's negative. He responded every time after the hearing.
So yes, so.
Did inpatient, of course, right?
Mhm.
But, he went to HP.
So, I really would like to get some,
And-
because I've got an expert to put it on.
He got out of residential after therapy responded.
All right, okay, thank you.
I'm talking, so I get an idea. I think what's going on. with
So
him.
go ahead and say it.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna hear from Nathan in there.
Oh, that's good.
Me too.
Well,
You want me to keep saying what it's.
no, I mean, I have. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, because we got rain on walls. That's. The other two for the police that are, maybe which one, those are the pay thing.
And their names.
Yes.
I have a motion to set bond on an MTR. What information do you need, or what would you like me to do before I approach the court?
Oh, well, your client needs to be here. He can
He
be
needs to
by,
be here?
yes,
Because he's a fugitive.
Is this for you?
yeah,
He needs to be in jail and then be here?
yes, or either if you have him, if he comes in,
Oh,
yes.
I'm curious.
Okay.
Charles.
Yes.
And Suzanne, are you ready on your client?
Such as it is, Judge, yes.
All right, come down, sir. Yes.
I gotta just look at, what was the thing?
Hello, you are Roberto Monreal? All right, so the reason why I set these cases was because the nature of the offense, and I just want to make sure that communication is open between the state and the defense. And I know both of the attorneys, I'm sure communication will be open. My understanding from the other two defendants that were here is there is a lot of discovery and there are some downloads. So if there needs to be a drive or something turned over to state, just make sure that's done.
Yes, Judge, and just for the record, if I can do that with Jason. The only thing we have on our discovery is the affidavit in support of the arrest warrant. Still, that's all we've got.
Okay.
Jason just gave me this today. It's all single space, teeny tiny. There's no way I can read this morning and
Oh, no, I'm not expecting y'all to. I'm just trying to make sure that discovery is given. So.
well, and we
I
also
know
have a
we'll be
motion to
given.
reduce bond. But in talking to Jason and looking at this, I think it would be in my client's best interest to push that to another day so I can argue this more intelligently than I could today.
No. I'm having people come back on May 21st.
Is that a good day
That's
for
the
you?
same date as the co-defendants are saying.
Yes. And on these cases, I have to set it either for Wednesday or Friday because it's difficult for deputies to bring inmates over there on our regular docket because of the nature of the offense.
I think one of them is on bond. I don't know
One
about
of them may.
Yes.
the other. I
Just
mean,
aware of that.
isn't it better to have them not set on the same day in terms of being able to bring them out?
No, because then that makes it difficult for the state and it makes it difficult for the deputies to keep up with everything. And then if this ends up not being a dismissal or an agreement, but ends up being a jury trial, the coordinator likes to have them set together so that everyone can get a similar date and time. All right. Do you have any questions, sir?
Mayor.
All right. So we'll bring you back on the 21st. And defense, if you have any motions that you would like filed, just confer with Ms. Ferguson and she'll put it on a date.
Yeah, you already signed my expert motion, but Monica filed a while ago the motion to reduce bond. So at some point, I think before the 21st, I would like to have a hearing on the motion to reduce bond.
Oh,
If
just,
that's possible.
yes,
Yeah.
just confer with Ms. Ferguson on what date you want it on and we'll get that on the
Okay.
a date before you all leave. But the discovery date is still going to be May 21st.
You're gonna have everything to do.
No, it's not, it's ongoing discovery.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
I can bring you a hard drive.
that's fine. I mean, and again, I mean, I think everybody's aware that this is still on the intake level. And
Yes.
I'm not in possession of the file. I just printed out the main report.
I know that I spoke with Laura Metzfold or
Metzel, yes.
a couple of weeks ago, and she said that Detective Graham was gonna bring her discovery and it would get uploaded. And since nothing's there, I'm assuming that hasn't happened yet.
Yes. And then if you both can confer, if you all are expecting me to hear the bond, if you all can confer on a date so that everybody
I
can
need
be
to
ready.
talk to Monica to make sure she's available too.
Okay.
And Judge, just let you, I mean, I want to make sure, there is a co-defendant that is in juvenile. I just to let everybody be there.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 4 total.
All right.
I'll get that information. Okay, thank you. Judge.
It's in there.
I'll get, well, I was gonna see who the lawyer was, but I'll get a date from Norma as soon as I talk to Monica for the
Uh-huh.
motion to her bond. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Oh, cool.
All right. With that, they will take you back. Suzanne, do you need to speak to him anymore?
Do you have any questions of me right now? I did speak to him very quickly before. Monica's been mostly the one, that's the task I assigned her, so she's been Zooming and ICSing with you.
Yeah.
So I think we're covered on that.
All right. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're welcome.
He's apparently on probation, on deferred here, Your Honor. He's 21 years old. I haven't met the young man yet. His mother and brother came over. Apparently, he's down in Brownsville. I think his girlfriend is from there
Mhm.
and he's being detained there. I think it's his first first motion to enter adjudication.
All right.
Just asking if you would set a bond. So I don't know if they're gonna extradite him over
Well,
here
for
or
me
they're gonna
to
release
to
him from
set
down
a
there.
bond, he either needs to zoom in, which probably the best way.
Okay.
So if you can speak to Ms. Ferguson, if he can zoom in today, we can have a short hearing on it today and I'll set a bond.
Okay, well, I don't know if they'll allow him to do that. I guess we'll wait
Oh,
till he
ask-
comes.
Ask Ms. Ferguson.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I gave the file back. Oh, you may not want to do that. No. You know why? Because sometimes they don't pop.
Don't they have 10 days, Judge, or they have to release him
Oh,
from
they
there?
do. But if you stay on top of that, they will. So. We complain about on a Friday.
Nothing. There's absolutely nothing to complain about.
Hi, thank you. Although I love the song Just Got Paid, was sung by Johnny Kemp, but people just don't get paid on Friday anymore. Usually it's once a month, but I'm still in my mind. I'm singing the song.
Judge, do you mind if I put one of these up for you outside? It's just, we have our community court informational session on Thursday.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully
At what time on Thursday?
2 to 3. It's gonna be in County Court 15, and then we have her Zoom option. Judge VAR is gonna do by
All
Zoom.
right, if I am not in court, I'm gonna step over.
Well, Judge, I'll give you one, just so you
Yes,
can have it.
please.
There you go.
Always
And
different
feel free to
programs.
share.
Oh, most definitely, I will.
Thank you, Judge. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You too. All right, thank you. Okay. And then I think, are you here for something, council?
Judge, yes, I did want to talk with you, just confirm with Andrew first.
Sure. Okay. Yes. Morning.
Judge, this case is set next Tuesday.
I need, you brought the file.
Norma helped,
Yes.
as usual. And set next Tuesday, I'm supposed to be in Gonzales County on a plea. It's a first setting after indictment. I'm conferring with Andrew now, and he's gonna convey an offer to me.
Okay.
And I was hoping we could reset that.
And when is it set?
Tuesday,
Okay.
the 25th. Day after my wife's birthday.
Oh,
My daughter already texted me one of them.
to remind you.
She said, "Dad, do you have a present for mom?" And I said, "I do for once, but they know me. They know I need help." And then she said, "Are you getting Cheesecake Factory? Because mom likes Cheesecake Factory."
Oh, see, that's good.
So
All right, I can recall it for April 3rd.
Great, Judge.
All right, and you will let your client know?
I will.
All right, thank you.
Well, do you want me to take that back or?
Just 1 second, let me put it in the system. There you are.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, court is calling 2024 CR 010008, State versus Nicholas Cameron. Can I have parties announced for the record?
Salem, State.
Scott Hill for Mr. Cameron.
Are you Mr. Cameron?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I have, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Are there any applications?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Cameron, did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, waiving the habitual offender enhancement allegation.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places? You're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent. By entering this plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
No.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I believe he does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Cameron, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter the plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Sure.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it? According to the plea bargain agreement, punishments be assessed at 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244, and there are no applications. Did you understand that to be the plea? Defense, is that the plea?
It is, Your Honor.
State, is that the plea?
Yes, Judge.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
No.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead?
No contest.
State any evidence.
Should be contained in Exhibit 1 and attachments, Judge.
No objections.
Right, state, you may be excused.
Thank
Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent? Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony? Did you understand?
No.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence state's exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing state's exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Judge, I've spent a lot of time talking to Mr. Cameron, just trying to give him some counsel on some programs he can try to go after he's released from Bexar County Jail. He's gonna go stay with his mom, who's here, out in Elmendorf. Elmendorf. Judge, he's been in custody for, I don't know the exact day, but it's been over probably 7 months. I don't think it's quite 9.
Almost nine.
Almost 9. So he's been in jail for a long time. He knows, you know, he knows he's got to stay away from the drugs. And he knows that's an issue for him. So he's going to do his best. So I'm just asking the court to follow our plea bargain agreement.
All right. The court will find you guilty as previously stated, sentence you to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail under 1244. Give you credit for any time served. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
No.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, we can go off the record. How old are you?
41.
All right, so here's the thing. You're getting to that point where time is going to go by so quickly for you, and you're going to have to start making decisions. Do you want to spend a majority of your time in jail or in prison? That's completely up to you. It's obvious that you have a drug problem. If you don't get that resolved, what's going to end up happening is either you're going to end up in jail or somebody's going to end up identifying your body. And I don't think you want your mom to have to be the person to have to identify your body in some field somewhere. You understand? But at the same point, if you're not prepared to live life truthfully and openly, where you're trying to improve yourself by becoming clean and sober, then don't visit that on your mother's doorstep. Just send her letters. If you want to be dishonest and say, Mom, I'm doing great, then do that. But don't let her have to see you continue to use over and over, because then that's burdening her, because she has to provide tough love for you, which usually mothers don't want to do. When they see their child hungry or they're not doing well, then a good mother, then they're not doing well if their children are not doing well. So you're going to have to make decisions. There are plenty of programs in San Antonio. There are plenty of programs in Elmendorf that can help you. But in order for you to be successful, you're going to have to change people, places, and things. And the only thing you should be doing is going to work and going home, and nothing in between, unless it's sober support meetings or some kind of treatment. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes. Is there anyone else? Anything else? Okay.
Judge, we have a standing blood discovery order on a case for Mr. Twenty 2025-00000373.
All right. So I don't have the motion. Are you all in agreement with the motion that's been filed?
I am with respect to the requested items. My only objection is the first paragraph on the 10th page stating any evidence within the scope of the items granted above be provided by the state to defendant's attorney at his office on or before 5 p.m. on the 60th day. Happy to make them available, but
I don't have a problem picking it up here, Judge.
All right. So if y'all want to write in there what your agreement is, I will sign it. And she just printed me off a copy. So if you all could write it on here. counsel here. And then I will sign it. All right, and this is Gabriel Echartia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, let me just put this in the system, then we'll go on the record with this. And is Edelman going to be on this?
I'm sorry.
Is Mr. Edelman?
I spoke to Jason about it. I didn't speak to Mr. Edelman. It's a
Um,
motion to set bond.
Well, if you want to speak to him about it or let him know what your agreement, if you have one with Jason was.
Good weekend, Judge.
All right, you too.
I'm on.
And then who's-
Rashawn. On this case, I believe he's on deferred adjudication. Can you? Let me see if I have a copy of the motion to revoke.
Sounds about right.
Okay, oh, I think I see it in here. All right. We're gonna go on the record. And Mr. Etchertia, could you unmute your, thank you. The court is calling 2024 CR 1497 State versus Gabriel Paul Etchertia. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Oh my gosh, that's shocking for me. Okay. Could I have parties announce state
Andrew Harris, Edelman.
defense?
Jesse Sepulveda for Gabriel Paul Echartia.
And if you could state your name for the record, sir?
Gabriel Paul Echartia.
All right. So your client is appearing by Zoom. Any objection to us having this hearing with your client by Zoom?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, your defense counsel has filed a motion to set bond in this court, the 187th District Court. You're on deferred adjudication, so you're entitled to a bond. The only question is what the amount will be. Have you all discussed an agreement with regards to a bond?
I discussed it with Mr. Edelman as well as Jason Garahan, and they are recommending $10,000 bond, Your Honor. I believe the original amount when Mr. Chartea was originally arrested was 5,000.
All right. And the court, due to the fact that your client is on deferred adjudication out of this court, the court is aware of any type of prior substance abuse issues. But there are a few questions I would like to ask you with regards to your status now. If you could raise your right hand for me, please. Yes. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, and if you'll state your name for the record again, please.
Gabriel Paul Itrictea.
All right. How long have you been in custody in the other county?
About a week, ma'am.
All right, since that time in custody, have you been placed on any type of mental health division of that jail?
No, ma'am, but they have requested and asked me if I would like to, and I denied.
All right, and so you're not on any type of medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, then what the court will do, the court will follow your agreed bond recommendation of $10,000. I'm going to order sober support meetings as a condition of your bond. And I'm going to require 30 and 30 days. And then we are going to set this for a hearing. We can go off the record. State, what is the status of the allegations in the motion? I think there is a number 1 with regards to reckless driving. And it's in Bear County. Would you have that police report?
No, Judge.
All
I
right.
might be able to look it up if you'll allow me to.
Yes. I just want to make sure that you have what's needed, and then I can give you all a setting.
Thank you, Judge.
And is he only there because of the warrant here?
I believe so. Is that right, Gabriel?
Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Judge, if I may, I was just retained a few days ago, but from what his mother has told me and his brother told me, apparently Gabriel was a complainant on a case. He was stabbed 4 times by some other individual, I think a boyfriend of one of his ex-girlfriends.
Mhm.
And I'd like to, I guess, just be given some time to inquire about that, because she says he's not the same individual, that he's had some issues afterwards, and I'm not sure if he's seen a psychologist or psychiatrist, but apparently it was a traumatic event for him.
Okay.
Is that right, Gabriel?
Yes, sir. I haven't seen a psychiatrist or a psychologist after the stabbing or anything. They recommended therapy through the state. The state was providing it, but after a while they started charging, so I couldn't afford it.
And then Ms. Ferguson, if you can bring this back the week of April 14th. Right. So
I think I have something in the juvenile on April 15th. That same week, 14th. Yeah, can we do that?
all right. So your case is going to be recalled for April 14th. You should be released. If you are released, you need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
All right. Is there anything else, counsel?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
And excuse.
Yes, you may be excused.
Good week.
All right. And sir, you can let the deputy know that your hearing is complete. Your attorney will probably get in touch with you or get in touch with your family to see about your release.
All righty, thank you, ma'am, I will.
All right, you're welcome.